All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that sounds super simple, but the results, they're absolutely staggering. We're looking at the incredible power of making small, consistent improvements.
You know that feeling, right? When you think about your biggest goals, like learning a new skill, getting fit, starting that project you've been dreaming about. It feels like you need some huge, heroic effort to even get started.
Yeah, we have a name for this. It's the grand leap mentality. It's this all-or-nothing approach to everything. But, there's a huge problem with thinking that way.
This is like the classic showdown. On one side, you've got that grand leap. It's drastic, it's overwhelming. It's basically that New Year's resolution we've all made, right? The one that's so intense it just fizzles out in a week. But on the other side, you've got something way more powerful, the steady step. Small, manageable actions you can actually stick with. And that's where true sustainable growth comes from.
So, what if I told you the real secret to achieving huge things is to actually think smaller, a lot smaller? It sounds kind of backwards, I know.
All right, so let's get into this powerful alternative. We're going to ditch the grand leap for what we're calling the steady step. And it's all built around one tiny, powerful idea, 1%.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The biggest wins in life, they don't come from these giant one-time actions. Nope. They come from doing the small things consistently, day in and day out, all pointed in the right direction.
So what does this actually mean, to improve by 1% every day? Well, it's pretty simple. It just means committing to being a tiny bit better today than you were yesterday. We're not talking 50% better, not even 10%, just one single percent.
Okay, I can hear you now. 1%? Seriously? That's nothing. And you know what? On any given day, it feels like nothing. But this is where the magic happens. Let's look at the actual math because it's pretty wild.
Just look at that. 1%. It seems so small, right? So insignificant. It's the kind of progress you wouldn't even notice day to day. You'd probably just brush it off.
But that little number, that's the secret ingredient. When you apply it every single day, it starts to compound. It's just like earning interest in a bank account. Your gains start earning their own gains, and that's when things get really exciting.
So let's play this out. Let's say you commit to getting just 1% better every single day. Where do you think you'd be in a year? Maybe twice as good? 3 times? The real answer, well, it's going to blow your mind. You end up nearly 38 times better. That's not simple addition, right? That is the explosive power of compounding. Each day's tiny win builds on the last one, and suddenly you're on this incredible upward curve.
And if you think 1 year is impressive, look what happens when you stretch it out to 5 years. I mean, look at that. Your starting point is barely even a blip on the radar compared to where you end up. This is the proof, right here. Slow and steady doesn't just win the race, it absolutely laps the competition in the long run.
Okay, so the math is mind-bending. The theory makes perfect sense, but how do we actually do this? How do we make it work in our own lives? Let's break it down into a simple, practical strategy.
It really comes down to 4 simple ideas. First, you gotta know where you're generally heading. What's the big picture? Second, and this is key, pick just one small step. Not 10 things, just one. Third, you have to forget about the finish line. Seriously. Your only job is to do that one thing today. And number 4, well, you just do it again tomorrow. It's all about that consistency.
And this right here is such a game changer. It just lifts all that pressure off your shoulders. The goal isn't to be perfect overnight. It's not about some radical transformation. It's just, can you be 1% better than you were yesterday? That's it. That's the whole game.
So let's bring it right back to you. Right now, forget about next month. Forget about next week. What's one tiny, super small, 1% improvement you can make today? What's that first steady step you're going to take?